this is going to make you and Stu put your chins up.
Okay.
Which you both
Stu is out. Stu is out having surgery, and so Pat is here.
I'm sorry. Mm-hmm. He's okay though, right?
Yeah, he's fine. He was in a knife fight with a pimp, but it's all right.
You know, I've been through that before.
Yeah, I know, several times, but we usually don't talk about it. But anyway, go ahead. Biggest story of the week, Bill.
So Waters asks the governor of Texas, Abbott, has the president of the United States, Joe Biden, called you about the crisis on the border since he took office? What do you think the answer was?
No.
Now, why is this important? Number one, 3 million foreign nationals are estimated to cross just into Texas this year, this fiscal year. And a president doesn't call the governor of the state that has to deal with that one time. So everybody listening will, oh, he's just incompetent. It's all about. It's not that. And I keep telling everybody this, and few believe me. I think you do, Beck, but I'm not sure. The president of the United States does not know what he is doing. He is incapable of assimilating, word of the day, information. You can tell him something, and he'll look at you, and maybe he'll understand what you're saying, but 2 minutes later, he will forget it. So Biden, who has not been to the border, another unbelievable occurrence, because if you add up the human toll of this, plus the narcotics traffic that's killing hundreds of thousands of Americans every year, you add it up, this is a catastrophe.
So, Bill, what are we supposed to do? Because I don't believe the Constitution is a death pact. You know, it's not a suicide pact. And this is an invasion, and the government is doing nothing. And the government has the constitutional responsibility for the border, not the states. So that's what's kept the states out of it. But again, are we in a constitutional suicide pact? What should the state do?
Beck. You elect a president, he comes into office. Americans have this idealistic view of that. Many times you elect someone who's destructive to the country. All right? I mean, many times, not a few, many. So what happens now? Well, everybody can whine and complain and talk about it, but what happens is this. In November, there is a course correction possible, whereby the American people would say, I recognize what a disaster Joe Biden is, and I'm sorry he's the president. And if I voted for him, I made a mistake. So now I'm going to correct that mistake. And I'm going to give Congress the authority to deal with Biden. That's our system. That's how the founders set it up. So I fully expect that the Republicans will take both houses of Congress. I'll be shocked if that doesn't happen because of inflation primarily and the economy.
Right. That's
the driver of the vote. But second is the border. Now, once the Republicans take over, I can assure you articles of impeachment will be drawn up in January and February 2023 against Biden on this issue. Dereliction of duty. If you read the message of the day on BillO'Reilly.com today, Beck, and I know you do every day, it's free, anybody can read it. He's the commander-in-chief. This is dereliction of duty. Just like a corporal or a sergeant, if they were in the field with a military unit and they didn't follow orders, That's dereliction of duty. This is dereliction of duty. Does everybody get this? Biden's president, but he's also the commander-in-chief of the armed forces. So you can impeach on those grounds. Now, will he be convicted in the Senate? Probably not. But it'll be such a hammer blow to the country. The Trump impeachments were jokes. That everybody knew what that was, a setup by Pelosi on any grounds at all to embarrass Trump. This is much more serious because the numbers are there. The deaths are there. Verifiable. Not a phone call to Zelensky in Ukraine. This is people dying every day because their government will not stop the importation of deadly narcotics from Mexico. That's what this is. And that is why this is the story of the week.
Okay. Let me take you here. You know, you say I'd be surprised if the Democrats, held control. I would be too. It's just, what is it going to look like as we get there? The pounding of right-wing extremists in the media and how this is the most extreme political party, the right political party ever. They are not only just stirring it up like they have been, but they are now also enacting through fiat, through the agencies, all kinds of things to set up an encounter with extremists and be able to isolate and and label people. I mean, I've never seen anything like this.
No, it's desperation, and it's enabled by the media who loves the story, but it's not going to lead anywhere. Look, the next time you hear Biden get out there and say white supremacy is the biggest danger to this country, number one, please read Killing the Killers, because the jihadists are far and away more dangerous than the white supremacists. But here's the question you ask. If that's true, Mr. President, why hasn't the FBI made any cases against white supremacists or organizations thereof? None. Why? If it's that big a threat, if it's everywhere pervasive, you would think the FBI would be perp walking them every day, would you not?
Yeah. I mean, you would at least feel like it did, after September 11th.
Yeah.
Where
this is such a propaganda ploy. And, I'm going to submit to you, most Americans know it. They know it's BS. They know it. And then when the producer price index comes out, and again, not reported, nobody knows what it is, and says, huge. We're almost over 10%, that's passed on to consumers. That's 3 more months of rising inflation. Yeah. And that butts up to November.
Yeah, we haven't seen anything with inflation yet. People don't understand. It's still ahead of us. What you're feeling right now is in the past. What's coming is much worse. What?
You know what he's going to have to do?
Price controls.
Price control.
Yeah, that's what he's going to try to do.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
See, Beck, you're much smarter than you look.
I know. I'm deceiving that way.